Hello, thank you for joining me for a few moments this afternoon. In Mark's Gospel, there is a story about Jesus and his disciples, and they are standing on the shore of a large lake. And when I say large lake, imagine something the size of the Great Lakes. And Jesus is there with his disciples, and they decide to get into a boat to sail to the other side of the lake. And so they get into the boat and they begin their journey across the lake. And as they are sailing, a large storm comes up. And this storm is a violent storm, and it begins to toss the boat to and fro, and the waves start to get larger and larger, and they're crashing into the boat, and the boat is taking on water, and the disciples are becoming afraid. They're panicking. They're fearful that they're going to die in the midst of this storm in the middle of the lake. But it's interesting that Jesus is not panicked. Jesus is actually asleep in the bow of the boat. And so the disciples wake Jesus up in a panic, and they ask him for help because they don't know what to do. And Jesus calmly wakes up, he stands up, and he calls the storm to a halt. He brings the winds and the waves to a halt. He stills the storm. This miracle of Jesus calming the storm is a fond story for a lot of people. It's a story that brings a lot of hope and a lot of comfort, because all of us have faced those crises or those storms in our own lives and we've called out to God, asking God to bring the storm to a halt, to calm the winds and the waves that are battering us. And sometimes God does indeed calm the storms that confront us. Other times, God just leads us through the storm. God doesn't calm the storm. And I don't know why God calms some storms while not calming others. But the real miracle of this story, I think, of Jesus in the boat is just that. The miracle is that Jesus is in the boat. It's not so much about the miracle of the storm, of Jesus calming the storm, but the heart of this story is the miracle that Jesus is in the boat. That the very God who created heaven and earth, the God who created each of us and breathed into us the breath of life, this God in the person of Jesus is always in our boat. And so no matter what storms we face in life, whether those storms ultimately subside or whether God leads us through the storm, we should never lose sight of the fact that God in the person of Jesus is always in our boat with us. And that is where our strength and our comfort is to be found. The God of heaven and earth is always in our boat. So whether life is calm for you in this moment or whether you're facing a storm of your own, know that you are not alone in that storm, for God is in your boat with you. Thank you so much for taking a few moments of your day to join me for this brief message. If you have found this message helpful, I encourage you to share it on social media. Maybe others that you know will find it helpful as well. And if you would like to learn more about the Christian faith, about this person of Jesus, or about the Church of the Advent, please check out our website, adventks.org, or please join us for worship on Sunday morning.